Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ollie Hayes, and today I'm bringing the Everton News 24/7 roundup for the 28th of November. So let's get straight into it with today's headline news, and it comes from Team Talk, who report that the Freaking Group have identified their shortlist of top targets for managers, should their Everton takeover be completed. It's worth saying that sources from Team Talk have stated that Dyche does retain the full support of the current Everton hierarchy, and also the Freaking Group are looking to give him a little bit of an opportunity should they complete that takeover with a chance to prove himself. But the report does say that this list is ready should Dyche continue to, on the current trajectory of form and the current run of results that we're on. Should that continue, the Freaking Group will be ready to push the button and use this short list of managers to potentially replace Sean Dyche and bring in a new manager to Everton Football Club. So I'm going to go through the list reported by Team Talk, and in this list, top of the list, their number one target is former Porto manager Sergio Conceição. He's the number one target, as I said before. He was actually in contention for the Roma job. I think he was. There was some talks there, but obviously, as I said before, this is the Freaking Group's number one target. However, this one could be difficult because he would want quite a big budget, quite a large project being promised by the Freaking Group, and obviously with Everton's current financial fair play and potential restrictions there, if we are on the edge or not from obviously the previous ownership, this one might prove a little bit difficult. But moving further down the list, it's ex-Dortmund boss Edin Terzic. He's also under consideration. And as I said before, with Conceição, he was also under consideration for the vacant Roma job when Ivan Juric got sacked about a month ago now. Obviously, Roma went with Claudio Ranieri for that job, and obviously it means that Edin Terzic would still be available for the potential job of being Everton manager. This one's an interesting one. Obviously, he's got a quite a high profile in Europe. Obviously, being the ex Borussia Dortmund manager, he is a top manager. So again, this one might be a little bit difficult with selling the project. Does he really want to come to Everton? But you only have to show him that brand new state-of-the-art stadium on the dot roads that can potentially sell it to him. So I think that's again another high-profile potential managerial target for the Freaking Group, and one that's definitely positive in my opinion. But if we look further down the list that reported by Team Talk, it's ex-Chelsea and Brighton boss Graham Potter. He's out of work currently at the moment. He's been touted around various different jobs. You look at the vacant Leicester job, for example. I think Leicester did make some contact with him, but they're looking to go with Ruud van Nistelrooy instead for that job. So this is one, I think it would suit us. He's looking to get back into a project. Obviously, he took over a Brighton side when they were towards the lower end of the Premier League, and he built them up to be in a very decent side. So obviously, as I said before, he's looking to get back into that project. Could Everton be that next project for him? I hope so. I would be quite happy with Graham Potter. I think he is a top manager. Obviously, fell a little bit a little bit out of favour at Chelsea. It was just a mismatch of players there. He probably wasn't the right man for the job at the time. Obviously, Maresca is doing a very good job there now. Once the signings that Chelsea have made over the last 3 years, they've seemed to be bedded in a little bit more. But obviously, as I said before, Potter probably wasn't the right man for the job at that time. But that doesn't discredit him as a good manager. I think he's there's definitely ability there in terms of him being the manager of Everton. So that's one I'd like to see. And then moving to the fourth candidate on the list, and this is the last one that Team Talk reported. It's Maurizio Sarri. His chances are pretty slim of joining Everton. I think they're a little bit more remote of him being an Everton manager, purely because I think there is better options out there. But the Freaking Group seem to it's one that seems to be cropping up a lot under the Freaking Group. Obviously, he was touted around with Roma as well. So this one, definitely keep an eye on it. But as I said before, Team Talk have reported that this one is more remote in terms of having a chance of happening. But that's all with the Team Talk news, and that's the candidates. What do you think of the candidates? Let me know in the comments. Would you stick with Dyche, or would you go for one of the four candidates that's been reported here, or would you go for someone else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments on that one. But moving away from that and moving away from the Freaking Group and the potential managerial appointments, we're on some more injury news. And the Bobble today has confirmed that Seamus Coleman has returned to full training. Maybe could we see him start on Sunday against Manchester United at Old Trafford? It remains to be seen. Maybe see him start at right back and then Ashley Young move to left back and give Vitaly Mikalenko a little bit of a rest from the team. That's a potential option there. But obviously, as before, the Bobble has reported that Seamus Coleman is in contention for Sunday and he has returned to full first team training. And then also on another news, on another note, looking at the top of the pitch after his appearance for the 21s in midweek, Armando Broja is set to feature again for the under 21s this weekend against Nottingham Forest. He's ramping up his recovery now, isn't he? We do really need him at the top of the pitch. Obviously, pace, power, skillful. It's a player that we really need up there, especially because we didn't score any goals in November. I think it can't come soon enough getting him in this squad. But as I said before, if you look at the injury news, yeah, Armando Broja is ramping up his recovery, and fingers crossed we'll see him in the starting 11 or definitely in the matchday squad soon. But finally, before I go, some news from the club, and it's surrounding the new ground, and they've launched an online tool where fans can look at a 3D map of Bramley Moor and pick maybe where they'd want to sit, or look at certain different views in the ground. And obviously that's all going to aid with the season ticket renewal process that's coming in the new year. Obviously we had everything with the tenure and the phases that the new season tickets will be sold, but this is quite an interesting tool. Obviously it's in partnership with Ticketmaster, so it's mainly being used to pick where fans want to sit in the new ground. And it's all building the excitement now of this new ground, and I am very much looking forward to it now. Very much looking forward to renewing my season ticket and picking where I'm going to be sitting in that new ground. But make sure you have a look at that on the Everton website. As I said before, it's in combination with Ticketmaster, so it's an interesting tool to look at and pick where you want to sit in the new ground. But that is it for today's news. Let me know your thoughts on the managerial appointments and the potential list of candidates for the new manager job. But also let me know your thoughts on Coleman and could he start on Sunday against Manchester United at Old Trafford. But that is all for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.